What is good, everybody? My name is Tatro, and today, getting into a little bit of tough love. I am, of course, your electronic music mentor. So if you're not prepared for that, just click off the video. This one's not for you, but a little bit of a Tatro rant today. And if you're a member or if you're somebody who's watched a lot of the live streams or you've really been listening, you've heard me talk about this a million times before, but I figure I'd clear things up. I don't care about MIDI controllers. I really don't. These things are literally the tools to help me create my art, to help me create my music. If you think that I'm sitting around all day contemplating the pros and cons of each of the different controllers that you probably see all around me, you got that wrong. What I care about is making music and facilitating that process in the best way possible. And like I mentioned, I'm surrounded by all these options. I have a fair amount of options, and you might be watching that and saying well, if you have all these controllers, I must need all of these controllers. And that's totally not the case. So don't be confused. First of all, I'm fascinated by controllerism. So not only do I love making music, but I do love sort of the tech side of it and how I can interface with the software in a more hands-on way. That's where my controllerism kick comes from. But I also make content about MIDI controllers, and I've developed a decent sized audience based on making content about MIDI controllers, which is why companies tend to send me MIDI controllers for free to review, to weigh the pros and cons of, to show you all the newest, latest, greatest MIDI controllers. So I am not this crazy person that's going out and buying all these $100 MIDI controllers. So let's get that out of the way. Don't look at me and say, I need to buy all those MIDI controllers because Tatro bought all those MIDI controllers. No. I am informing people about them. I'm teaching. I'm comparing and contrasting them on my channel. And most of the time they're sent to me for free. That's why I have them. And what's frustrating about this position I'm in is that I've made several videos about which MIDI controller would be the best for you, and I outline all the details. I've compared some of my favorite ones, and I still have an inbox full and a comments section full of people asking, oh, but I'm still confused. Which one is for me? And if you paid attention in the videos, you would be able to make a decision. And if there's a controller that I haven't covered, it's because I don't have it. So why would you ask me about it? I would share my opinions if I had it, I promise. But too many people think that their specific circumstances matter as to which MIDI controller they should buy. I get messages all the time that are like, hey Tatro, I saw your video about MIDI controllers, but I'm still confused. Here's my situation. I wear red shoes. I live in Oklahoma. One time when I was a kid, I tripped and fell up the stairs, and I use FL Studio. Which MIDI controller do you think I should get? And it's like, nothing in your particular set of circumstances is unique enough for me to have a tailored opinion for you beyond what I've already explained in the videos. You all know the core tenets of what you need to be looking for. And I think what it really comes down to is there's a lot of information out there, so we can get into analysis paralysis, right? Like overanalyzing our decisions and trying to make the right decision, which ultimately just stalls our creative process anyway. And then there is the sad truth that it is a lot easier to be constantly buying gear or constantly researching gear than it is to actually sit down and make something with that gear. So I want everybody out there listening to this or watching this to just be self-aware enough and kind of ask yourself, reflect, hey, am I just doing this as sort of a procrastination technique? Am I just doing this so that I never have to actually take the step of learning to make music? Because that's a whole nother level. More heartbreaking than the people that aren't even making a decision on what MIDI controller to buy are the people who message me and say they bought one and they have no idea what to do with it. Well, if you bought a keyboard and you have no idea how to work your way around a piano keyboard at all, your expectation while buying it should be that you're going to be learning some piano basics on your way of using this and making music. If that wasn't your expectation going in, then you even got way too far ahead of yourself in purchasing one. You should be setting these expectations for yourself. You should be giving yourself that reality check, peeling back behind the curtain. Don't just watch a cool beat video or a cool performance video that features controllers and gear and say, all I have to do is click this Amazon link and when it comes in the mail, I'm going to be able to do that. That's an unreasonable expectation to set for yourself, and you're just setting yourself up for disappointment and failure. So if you've sent me a message or you've commented on one of my videos asking about your particular situation and which controller you should buy, you're probably not going to get an answer from me because I already answered your question in the several videos that I've made. And I'll probably be making more videos on the subject as different controllers come out, as like information needs to be updated. You know, of course I'll do updates in the future, but nothing about your particular situation is really going to change the information that's already out there. It's just about you sitting down and making the decision. And at the end of the day, when you choose one controller over the other, even if one was slightly more ideal and you chose the slightly less ideal one, the bottom line is you'll have a tool for making music. And if you're sitting there making music, you can make pretty much anything work. You're not going to be at some huge disadvantage because you chose this keyboard or that keyboard. It comes down to you have to sit down and make music. It's not about dwelling on the options of what gear to buy. Like I said at the beginning, these are just my tools. Like, these could all go away tomorrow, and if I just had my laptop, I would still be able to just make music. Maybe it wouldn't be quite as fun. If you're in the market for fun, then hey, the pressure's off. Just buy something you think looks cool, or buy something you think has the coolest features that would be fun to use. But I do believe at the end of the day, it's about making music, and these are just extensions of our software. So if you've been dwelling on this decision, just make it. Flip a coin. If you've been watching the streams, you know that we developed the wheel of MIDI, because if you've consumed a bunch of information and you're still having trouble making a decision, you might as well just leave it up to chance. We might as well just spin the wheel for you and help you decide like which controller to buy, because you've already consumed the information. If you were going to make a decision based on facts and information, weighing the pros and cons, you could have done that already. Instead, you're waiting for something to push you over the edge. And at that point, you might as well just leave it to chance. So be real with yourself. Make a decision based on weighing the pros and cons, based on the facts, based on all the information you have. If you've watched more than 3 videos about MIDI controllers, you have all the information you need. Don't go watch 10 more hours of videos. Make a decision. And if you still can't make a decision after weighing those pros and cons, literally flip a coin or show up to a stream and we'll spin the wheel for you. Whatever it may be, I just want you to start making music because it's only just beginning. Once you get that controller, you have a long road ahead of you, learning to use plugins, learning to use the software, learning more about music making, mixing. There's so many elements to unfold, and the longer you wait because you're trying to buy a MIDI controller, the longer you delay that progress. But you can do this. Make your decision. If you make your decision after watching this video, I would love to hear about it in the comments down below. I hope this pushes some of you in the right direction. I know this is a little bit of tough love and it's a little bit of a rant, but I think it's important. So thank you for watching this video. If you enjoy little rants like these, I can do more of them. Just give the video a like. Let me know what you thought about it in a comment down below. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss a future live stream, a future video, all that good stuff. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one.